Hello guys, welcome back to Truehouseboss. It's Thursday. We're going to dive right into this opportunity here and look at a role with a company called SeatGeek. Not sure if you've heard of it, but they're basically a platform that allows you to order tickets for live events. So things like sporting events, maybe concerts and so forth. One of the good things that I like about this website is that they give you some insight as to what the interview process looks like. That is so amazing to me because sometimes you go through these processes and it seems like it takes forever and there's no direction as to how this process works. But let's go ahead and look at it. So as you guys can see, you just do your application interview. After that, you'll have your initial screening, and then it looks like you're going to have your first round of interviews with the company, the final interview. And then after that, if you do get the opportunity to work for this company, you will receive your offer letter and go from there. Now, the cool perk about this is, as you guys can see, we're going to be filtering this opportunity right now. They do have some global roles and they are some global remote roles as well. Looks like that's based out of England, Israel, Germany, and then, of course, the UK. But we're going to be looking at some roles that are remote, that are based out of the United States. Now, they have several different roles, so you guys are going to want to make sure that you do go to the website if you do not like the opportunity that's going to be presented today, and see if there's something else that you're interested in. One of the great things about these roles is that they do list the salary and they give you some pretty good insight as to what to expect for this opportunity. So we're going to be looking at the People Operations Specialist role. Now, this is remote and it is based out of the United States. And we're going to just kind of scroll down here just a little bit so that we can take a look at what you'll actually be doing for this role. So as you guys can see, it's just stating that you'll be reporting to the manager. This is more of an administrative kind of HR position. So if you're not interested in HR, if you're not interested in admin, then you're going to want to look at some of those other roles that the company is offering. But if you are interested in administrative roles and admin, this is going to be a really great opportunity for you. Now, as you guys can see, these are some of your kind of day-in things of what you'll actually have to do for this role. You're going to have good communication skills for this role too, guys. So you need to be able to provide overall administrative support to the HR team. You're going to have to manage day-to-day system entries and data integrity. You're going to have to help with people, program, and work as needed. You're going to kind of be like the first point of contact here for this role. You're going to be providing tier 1 and tier 2 level support for issues related to like technical and HR matters. And then also you're going to have to collect new hire paperwork, process I-9s, e-verify, and coordinate various account setups and schedule onboarding sessions, right? So you're going to have to be helping with that onboarding process for new hires and so forth. Now let's scroll down a little bit and look at some of the things that they're seeking for you to have for this role. Now, you need to have great attention to detail, which in most admin roles, you'd have to have that, right? Again, you want to have those good communication skills. They're looking for, as they state at the very bottom, outstanding communicator with the ability to communicate and in solution across all levels of the organization. Now, they are looking for someone with experience with Greenhouse, Workday, and Jira. If you're unsure of that, those sources, you need to make sure that you do your homework and do Google. Okay. And then let's look at some of the perks that you're going to have with this role. Now, they have flexible PTO. You're going to have a work from home stipend to support your home office setup, which is nice. You're going to get about $120 a month to stipend on tickets to live events. You'll get an annual subscription to Spotify, Apple Music, or Amazon Music, and there's some other subscriptions that are listed there. Now let's dive right into the salary. They're starting out at about $45,000 to $70,000. Now make sure, see, this is what I really love. I love the fact that it's saying actual compensation packages within that range are based on a wide array of factors, right? So never just settle for what that starting point is. A lot of times people see that a starting rate is $45,000, $50,000 or something like that, and they think, oh, that's what the company's hiring for. That's not exactly true. You want to make sure that you're always negotiating your salary, especially if you have those skill sets. The application process is really easy. You just have to answer some of those simple questions there, submit your application, and you go on. All right, so what we're going to do now, guys, is look at some interview prep questions so that you guys can be well prepared for this opportunity. I really want you guys to start getting some of these remote roles. There's so much opportunity out here. So let's just go through those questions quickly, answer them, and I'll give you some styles of how you should answer these questions. Okay, guys, so I want you to keep in mind that these interview prep questions and answers are just suggestions. Okay, so you want to always make sure that you're being honest, you're answering based off of your own expertise and experience, and these may not be the questions that are asked during your interview, but it's good to have your mind opened a little bit so that you can have a good thought process and be prepped and well prepared for the interview so that you can stand out. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at question number one. So the question is, can you describe your experience with managing and improving the employee onboarding process? What strategies have you used to make the onboarding process more efficient and welcoming? Okay, so if I were interviewing for this particular role and I got a question like that, I think I would say something along the lines of, in my previous role as a people operations specialist, I managed the end-to-end onboarding process for new hires. This involved coordinating with various stakeholders and teams to ensure all necessary paperwork was completed. I also interrogated an onboarding checklist to improve efficiency. So that basically answered the question all in once. I basically told you that in my previous role, I was a people operations specialist. I also told you how I managed it. I told you what it involved, and I told you how I improved the efficiency of the onboarding experience. So then the next question would be, people operations often involves handling sensitive employee information. How do you ensure confidentiality and data security while managing employee records and HR related documents? So, you want to, what I would do is go back. If you guys go back to the actual job listing, you'll see that it mentions strict attention to detail. I would just, say something along the lines that I maintain strict attention to detail, to ensure that privacy is, protected along the lines of the policy. You want to make sure that you're utilizing maybe some of the wording that's listed within the job listing. And then whenever you're answering a question, answer it, but also give kind of like an example, because you want to make sure that you're memorable, you're knowledgeable, and it's going to make you stand out. Okay, then the third question is, conflicts can often arise among employees. Can you share an experience or an example of a challenging employee conflict you've managed in the past and how you resolved it? So then you can just say, in my previous position as a people's operations specialist, or you can say, I believe in a proactive and empathetic approach. I try to find a common ground for everyone. I like to hear each person's honest dialogue without, harboring any kind of bias concept. And then I try to find a way to come to a fair and common ground so that we can keep, a healthy working environment. So you want to say something along those lines. You want to always kind of tell them kind of a starting point, a middle point, and an end point, what that resolution is. I think that's very helpful when answering these kinds of questions. And then the next question is, compliance with labor laws and regulations is crucial in HR. Can you discuss your experience with staying up to date on employment laws and how you've applied this knowledge to ensure your organization's compliance? So then you just want to, I would reiterate, that you maintain a strict attention to detail, that you maybe have like a checklist and a calendar that you're always keeping up with these yearly updates. And I would incorporate, you utilize that, you had heavy calendar management at your previous position. And this is the way that you would utilize making sure that you are up to date on procedures, policies, and standards. And then the last question is, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? So this is where you want to integrate, because oftentimes, again, remember, if a company could just look on paper and say you're hired, they would. But the reason that you have the interviews is because they want to see if it's synergetic. They want to make sure that you're a good fit. So I would leave it kind of open-ended. I would make sure that you say that you're seeking to, come on with a company. And I wouldn't use the word company. I would make sure you use the company's name. So SeatGeek, and say, I'm seeking to utilize my skills and resources to help SeatGeek meet their productivity goals and, utilize my skills and resources within the company. You want to use something along those lines, because that's going to show that, okay, this person is interested in staying potentially long term. They seem to want to grow within the company, and growing within the company, let's say it's a position that doesn't really offer more growth outside of the position itself, your growth area is going to be things like getting a raise, constantly learning within that company. And this particular company, SeatGeek, is a startup. So you want to make sure that you Google this company prior to going to submitting the application, because whatever it is that can make you stand out, it's going to be really crucial in helping you get on board with this company. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope some of these interview prep questions really helped you. And again, as always, make sure you leave in the comments if you got hired on or if you have any questions, and we'll definitely go through those together. And I look forward to bringing you more work from home opportunities.